Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess and thank you so much for tuning in. Today's video is going to be a first impressions and tutorial on the Nabla Cosmetics Dreamy palette. I have been dying to get my hands on this bad boy. These are the colors in the Nabla Dreamy palette, and if you guys would like to see me do a tutorial and my general first impressions of the palette, then please keep on watching. So I just got the Nabla Dreamy palette in the mail. It is absolutely stunning. If I'm a little echoey right now, I apologize by the way, because I am in a new space. I sort of just switched rooms in my house, so guys, let me know if you like the light blue background instead of the kind of muddy brown. And if the echo does bother you, I will work on that, I promise. But yeah, today is all about the Nabla Dreamy palette. This has been viral on the internet, I guess, and Nabla was not prepared for this to sell out as well as it did or as quickly as it did. So I got this in the last restock. I'm not sure if they're still available, but if they're not, you can put in your email address and they will send you an email when they restock this beautiful palette. So let's put this on my eyes. I'm going to be priming my eyes with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I'm just gonna pull you guys in a little bit more so you can see everything that I'm doing as I am doing it. So the Dreamy palette doesn't have a matte pale color for me to set all of my eye with, because I like to set my eyes with a powder product after I've applied primer, just so I can ensure that everything will blend really smoothly over the top. So I'm just going to pick up a really fluffy Morphe blending brush and a very battered and well-loved color from my Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye palette. This is the color Latest. So I'm just going to buff this all over the lid and just set that primer down. Really any shade will do, even your setting powder for your face will do. I was just in a pinch and I rely on this palette a lot, but that is not what today's focus is. So you guys can see the palette clearly here. I'm going to begin by taking the color Illusion, which seems to be a really nice transition shade, and I'm going to be buffing that through the crease of my eye. And right off the bat, these shadows are like crazy pigmented. Really beautiful. I love this color already. It's a little bit like a milk chocolate color. It has a nice amount of warmth to it without it being too warm. And there is a teeny tiny bit of kickback when I press my brush into the shadow. So if you're heavy-handed, I would say to maybe have a bit of less pressure when you're picking up product. Now with the color Sistina on that same Morphe blending brush, I'm just going to dip into that and run that on the outer corner of the eye. I'm getting a lot less kickback from this color, which is really nice. And it's like a really beautiful peachy coral, which I think looks stunning with that brown. Moving to the lower lash line, I'm going to be picking up a Rouge and Rogue flat rounded shader brush and picking up the color Senorita just on the tip of the brush so the edges around the brush can do the blending. And I'm just going to run this underneath the outer corner of my lower lash line. I'm now going to take a little bit of Lullaby on that same Rouge and Rogue brush and connect that into Senorita on the lower lash line. And I think I'm gonna go for a quite grungy, smoky look. You can obviously keep this a lot tighter to the lash line, but I think a blown out smoky eye just looks so gorgeous. And taking a little bit more of Senorita, I'm just going to buff that back in nice and low. I actually recommend putting the brush on its side instead of using the tip of it, because then you can get a bit lower, a bit faster. And I'm bringing my mirror close. Really almost no fallout so far, and I've been using a heavier hand with the Senorita, so that's quite impressive to me. Now on a clean finger, I'm going to be picking up the color Delirium because it's this gorgeous dark purple, and I'm just going to press this onto the eye. I'm definitely getting a little bit of fallout with this color, but it's so stunning, I just don't even care. I would recommend applying colors like this that are super metallic with a brush with setting spray or with a clean finger because they're going to offer the best color payoff. If you do get a little bit of fallout, just take a powder brush and sweep it away. I'm gonna go back in with that initial blending brush, pick up a little bit more of the color Lullaby that we used under the eye, and buff Delirium into those other warm brown colors. Now with the color Metal Cupid, I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that on a Sigma E55 flat shader brush, and I'm gonna pack that onto the outer corner of the eye, blending into Delirium and kind of stamping it in. Now I'm going to take a really big fluffy Morphe blending brush and pick up a little bit of Sistina on that, just enough to coat the very top of the brush and do a really big blown out loose blend over where we just patted Metal Cupid. And that just makes it like a whole lot more grungy. I am experiencing some fallout with those darker colors, so I'm probably just gonna clean up with concealer a little bit when I'm done. With that Sigma E55 shader brush, I'm gonna pick up a little bit more of Senorita and push that into the lower lash line and really intensify that color. Having a lot of problems with fallout with this palette, which I didn't really hear from a lot of other people, so I'm surprised. I'm gonna take the color Inception now on my index finger. It's a gorgeous color, and I'm just going to push that onto the lid. Really finesse it on there. And that brush that still has a bit of Sistina on it, I'm just going to push that around the eye. Off camera, I'm gonna go clean up with some concealer and I will be right back. So far, I'm really not being wowed by the palette. It took some effort and I had to clean up with concealer, but I'll save that for the end. I'm now gonna pick up the color Byzantine and add that to my inner corner. And for that, I'm going to be using a really small Morphe detailer brush right on that inner corner. And that's really pretty. Just want everything to be like a little bit more blinding, I think. And pick up a little bit of the color Immaculate for my inner corner highlight. So now I am just going to be popping on some Urban Decay Perversion Mascara, lashes, and I will be right back to talk with you about this palette further. Okay, so now I have lashes on and some lips, and I can give you guys my final thoughts on the Nabla Dreamy palette. I'll be honest, I am kind of disappointed in it. I mean, if you look at this palette, like these colors are freaking gorgeous. I'm kind of bummed out at the pigmentation level. I mean, they're pretty, but I thought the formulation would be a little bit more special. I thought that there would be like a little bit more to them. I know Nabla eyeshadows as being really multi-dimensional, and these kind of just like blended away. So I'm not as thrilled with it. I think the colors are beautiful, but I think at the end of the day, it is just a neutral palette. These colors are stunning. I'm gonna just like swatch two on my fingers. Like, those are freaking gorgeous, but they just don't look like this on the eyes. Like, that is stunning. It did not end up looking like that on my eyes. I don't know if you guys can see, but this purple kind of just like blended away. And I kept reapplying it hoping that it would come back, but I really don't know. Maybe it's the base that I used. I'm definitely going to keep working with this palette and see if it's something that I did, because obviously it could be that. Maybe I really did need to use a damp brush, but I've never experienced an eyeshadow before that it wasn't solved by me swiping my finger. So maybe that's it. But all the same, I think this palette is really beautiful. I think if you can get it to work for you, then it is a great piece to have in your collection. The mattes blended out really beautifully. I have no complaints about that. I guess I was just so excited about the shimmers that I was a little bit let down. But this is the final look that I've created. It's kind of like a rosy golden kind of purpley smoky eye with like a darker lip. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and I also have all of the other makeup products that I used on my face linked down below as always. Also, don't forget to check out my social media links. They are down below as well. I update Instagram daily with new photos of makeup. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I will speak to you guys in the next video. Bye.